certifications that the Common Core has to offer. The first certification, which is common, is going to be post. You identify a post user with they have an access card out, which has the car logo and your picture, a barcode, and I think that'd be RFID chip. And also, if they have a TS clearance, it'll be TS0. If they apply for it, there's another TS and a dash number. But you can also identify a post user with the slings they have. Slings are pretty cool. We have the HK sling, which is just an HK model on your chest. You have the M10 sling, which is just an M10 model on your chest. And the AR-15M sling, these are in the outfit section. And then if you go to the patrol outfits, you'll have your R87 and M4M1 and the R87 sling. This one's a pretty long sling that goes down to my feet. And then here is the coordinate sling. Also, you can identify a post user or any user. You can search them in the database and it will show their agency certifications. I got helicopter pilot through RMA, which is where you get any certification of public servant. Now, another thing with Post is it allows you to apply to agencies. It allows you to apply to attend a county tryout, apply for CBI, Fish and Wildlife, and if you have another certification, you can apply to be a junior instructor with RMA. Also, it allows you to work on the scene commander certification, which I will be showing you guys next. And also, Post gives you, for some reason it's not here, I really don't have actual Post, but it will give you a channel called Post. Now, if we go over to the gun store and Bass, I forgot we had Bass. If we go to Bass, you have in the corner, you have the props. So yeah, fire and check the communication here. Props. We have the law enforcement supplies, which go with the electric kit, a police barrier, and engineering. You also have the universal supply PT access. These come with light barriers, a job fair kit, weapons kit, a lab chair, a whiteboard. I'll be showing you all this. Here's a whiteboard. Things can be written on it right now. And it's a planning board. Oh man, I think you should listen to the board's telling me. And you have your fold-out chair. You have your weapons kit. I'm show you some weapons kit. Weapons kit comes with an ammo box. I should most likely see the CCA gun gates that they host every so often. Pretty small, not very small, it's the powder. You get 20 of those. Shotgun casings, just shotgun shells, pistol casings. Well, just the casing groups. You have an AK magazine. It's in the M4 format. All the weapons. Job fair kit contains Sometimes I turn my car off. Job fair fitting. You usually see it during job fairs that have all the tents that you use in the game. They're pretty big tents. I don't know how cool. Wrong tent. So as you can see, this is the only real big tent. Is the CSP, SHP, and the CSP. And this is basically your all three area departments that you set up. Some switch to spread. So here's your EMS tent, which is for DCMS, the biggest company that we have in Berkeley. CID, guns, all these tents up. Here's your Concord Bureau of Investigations. Their office is actually right down there. They're like the FBI, or as some would call them, the police of the police. And they're Concord. Here's the government tent, which is a little larger. This is for the senators having a Q&A, or they're showing off something their campaign. I was a campaign one, which was fun. Here is the police subdivisions, where you have the pursuit intervention, and also the CID, which is a game pass. Pursuit intervention is also the subdivision that players post. Got the HS tab. I think that's only the security thing, not wrong. Here's the fire department tab, the FWS tab, and here's the Homeland Security tab, which is no longer around. That is discontinued team. There is a registration called Concord Homeland Security. Five props. Oh, you did a good job. There's also moving bags. Here's the CANG tent, the RMA, the BCSO tent. No, this is not the BCSO tent, here's the Air National Guard. Here's Registered Management Authority, which is where you get these certifications from. And the Department of Corrections tent, which is a game pass. And then we have there's the fire and the volunteer fire department. There's the Concord Public Works. And these are small tents that you see in the universe. Those are just different tent sizes, so one for the car. And then you can also see the tables that they have, the stadium ones as well. So, these are pretty large, I'd say. They do light up in this one area. And they're quite dull. You cannot see them. They're pretty bright. They also reflect off the car if you're not careful. Here's the table you use set up underneath. Props here. Show you the interior. Here's the event area, which is just saying there's an event here. This is also collidable with cards. So let's say, hey, I want to be a troll, boom, you can't drive into the event. Which is pretty nice. A lot of people use them. Here's your engineering kit, which you'll most likely see CPW doing when they do their homework. The work plate, This is the same as all the things you can also find in CPW that will be explained in the routine showcases. But all of this is just collidable. Because it's seen. Everything is seen here is collidable. Here's the police barrier, same with the car, or not the car, but the event barrier, is the equalizer cars. Here's the road control kit, which you will usually see. This has construction barriers, anything you usually see in CPW. That also has Broadway spikes, and the police work light, which is a different stamp. And then it has e-boards, a license plate scanner, and checking signs. Now, check it out. That's my blue sign, and anything up. Like this. Oh man, it just keeps telling me to do it. I think you should listen. Check it sign. Plate scanner, which if I drive past it and say who's owning it, and if I have any charges, who's also part of me. A message board. Which you probably say, oh, well, man, it says subscribe. And then the speed limit, which if I would get my car and it's in my speed limit, and I can change the license as well. Change the red flash to get more attention. And I can also check the speed. This one you usually see at government events. This one is just everything you need. See the podiums. Let's say I want to do a speech here. Oh, great citizens of Concord. Why I think you should vote for me, for senator, and subscribe. Like a speech. They also have chairs. They have a glass barrier, which is just a shoot. I think you can shoot through. Metal detectors are pretty fun. This one I can walk through it. Maybe won't detect. Yeah, it's not gonna detect me. But usually a metal detector, they'd walk through it and beep if they had anything and show up there. I believe there's also a tool one as well. There's a bulletproof box, which has a podium. This door opens really slowly. Oh, I'm under threat, but I think you should still subscribe. And you can't shoot through. And the fences, the fence. These is the extra large fence, but they do get bigger and smaller. This is the larger size. Tool detector, so I was talking earlier, where on that side, if I was a sim, it would put all the things I have in my inventory, such as guns and all that, so they'd know to frisk me out of the event to take away my guns. And here's sandbags that you would use in a Berkistan if you ever got to play Berkistan. These are pretty fun, high binding, shoot. I believe that's all for the low side of props. So we're going to the sim side of props now. Let me switch back to sim. Engine drive. Actually, Post does get to keep their extra on sim. Ooh. Oh, God, I didn't see that. it seemed to me, your car also does not despawn if you park it in a park. Civilians in the civilian camp, I think is pretty good with the name. Looks like if I want to have a robbery, I would kind of set it up like this in my house. Oh yeah, making big bucks here, big boker bucks. And I got some cash files here. Like, oh hey, I've been printing a lot of money. I wish I had that much money. And then you have block 2 pole lines. So pretty fun. They do reference alcohol. That's why there's also a charge of, I believe it's drinking carbonated soda and mud. They can be charged with. There's a fire barrel. I'll show you the weapon tables too. This is where CCO would be setting up their weapons to sell. I think this is in here. No. Actually, huh. Maybe I've never played with fire barrel before. There it is. These also do damage. Like, oh, let's say I'm having a gun sale, I'm going to line up with this. This is what's used for. I truly gun. Actually, that's not optional. Okay. This is usually what CDF does, like Concord Mafia. Oh, yeah, let's see the guns in here as well. First table, you have everything you find. These are Tony's, but you can find them in Tony's. Back when you find the Gino and Floyd one, you can Tony's as well. Also, you have every legal gun. And that is, I know there's actually one on your side, is the fighting units side of the same thing. So, Christmas parade truck and be professional. This thing does turn fast. So right here. Oh, there's a fire truck on the fire team. Oh, it's like the airstrip too. Here's the FDS barrier. This is the same as the other barriers. You cannot hit them with cars. I believe the road control kit is the same. Yep, the road control kit is the same. We need to move on to our next certification. That's an instructor. Instructor certification you can get by either A, having 2 certifications, and applying for an instructor and getting accepted. And you need to be given the instructor certification, you need to be in the registry management authority group. Or you have to be in the group and give yourself the certification. This team is where you get trained for all the certifications. So you see the training, the belt, and everything. If you're on this team and in training, they will tell you what to put on and you listen to your instructors. But since this is not a well-known team, I'll also be going into the cars that they have. But they got rid of one of the cars. I forgot what they got rid of. Here's the post instructor vehicle. This is the truck version of the post instructor vehicle. This is the first siren, the second, and the third. This is the horn. You will notice the first siren, the horn, also share the same with the boat. Now, another fun fact on RMA with the instructor shirt, you can enable the alarms here and at the airbase. Here's the alarms at Fort Pierce, which change the front board. I'll show you that now. But yeah, you unlock every button in here besides the K locker. This will enable the lockdown gates and change that to tell people that you're not allowed to come in. You can also hear this alarm at airbase when we go over there shortly. But I will be turning it off now so we can see the department team. And also Fort Pierce is post certified. If you do have post, it is up to K to let you in and out of the base. And same with yours. I'll show you the crowd deck and you can see me on the team. Same siren, same rust pattern, same horn, just a different body within. And this is just the post instructor cars. There's also a box of ATs here, which I did not know about. And the last car is what I'll be driving in the air. This is the Falcon Prime, which is your crown event. You usually see it in this packet if you do a training, which is the cadet package. It looks like this. And now you can go over to airbase and see we can access there. You can see the alarm. You can also close this gate, which doesn't automatically open. That's when you manually toggle by K or RMA. Right down here. You can also put the bridge up and that little control bit. Airbase, you can access the entry screen. I'm just not ready for that, so you can see that. And this will allow you to get all of the entrance screen. I don't understand what you're doing. So you get in or go to interrogation. And you can also hear the airbase. As regular. And then we can close this. Any of the doors we have access to an arm right here. And here's the arm on for airbase, which is recently been changed. It used to be Ryan. With this activated, so this is not this is a manually date. This is usual for players. Turn this off. Down on there, you also have access to ATC Ice Channel officer. You have access to the flight gate, the flight line gate, and also the metal door next to it. And you have access to the ATC tower. The ATC tower will allow you to set off the radar alarm up here. Plus you can see agency vehicle on the map and the scramble. which automatically activates if a missile is heading towards the airbases. And you also have a lockdown wall. This will also tell you how much civilians and criminals being CCO are online. Also on you have access to an helicopter, which we will do helicopter training in. If you do get the aviation certification, there's the full personal wall. Everything on it has 0 hours. Here's the on helicopter. Which will be reading us some certification, helicopter certification. So for helicopter certification, you need to take the aviation P1, which is an exam, and then for helicopter certification, you need to attend a P2 on helicopter, which then grants you access to the helicopters, such as the RMA helicopter. If you get into CBI, you get the Yellowbird, and K and the Blackhawk. BCN and Berkley County News has the News helicopter. CBI has their own Fish and Wildlife has their helicopter. RMA has their helicopter for training. Pitt has their helicopter for pursuits. The government has their own helicopter. And BCSO has their helicopter. And also, Berkley Medical Service, not Berkley Medical Service, BCM has their helicopter, DMC, at their spawn, which I'll fly around this helicopter and we can go to the safe side of things. Once you have a certification, either helicopter or plane, you need to have helicopter to get plane certification. You have access to the EPC channel, which can cooperate air traffic control. Now we're going to move to the civilian side of aviation certification, which is definitely not supposed to be aviation. So the civilian airfield, or airstrip as people would call it, is by Tones and is a CCO, it's by the CCO warehouse, which they've just recently updated to add a new gate to it. Let's take the turn here. Which, if you have helicopter or plane, these gates will open automatically for you. For anybody else besides volunteer fire department, they do not open. Believe it or not, I still have helicopters. I gave myself a few dollars on that one. So in the radar station, you can see all the active planes and you can get a radio, which you need to have on civilian to fly. Here is the helipad. These are CCL helicopters. I don't know what helicopter is, but this is a gyrocopter, like the kind of the small helicopter from Rust. This is the Bell 407, which is a pretty nice little helicopter. See the interior. Has 6 seats, including pilot and passenger. Here's the R-44 helicopter. Respond over there. This is a nice little 4-seater. Get over here. There's the 4-seater outside. And then you also have the AW-109, which is people call the luxury helicopter, as it has opening doors. And a 6-player seat. And then which leads us into our next little thing over here, the next little certification. You have the plane pilot certification. To get this, you need to have Aviation Part 1 and an active helicopter certification. And then you can attend a course for plane pilot. Use the civilian Cessna. Again, you need a radio to fly these, or King will shoot you down. There's the Cessna. Here's the civilian DO. That's one. Transport plane here. That's where you transport people to like fights. Like inside. Get our doors here. .13 seating plus pilot and co-pilot. These also do come with parachutes. Here's our parachute. And you also have the illegal version of the DO, which includes guns for sale in the back. These are the MiG-29, which is a CCO, and the SU-25K, which is also a CCO jet. Here's what the illegal one looks like. This one has, like I said, has guns for sale in the back. So in favor for seating, you can browse your melee weapons, your illegal guns from every place, and your illegal guns from GMAT. Festive would not be in here. The more legal weapons. Yep. And that is all for the plane pilot certification. And I believe that's our last certification. I don't have it. Back up. PD. And as you can see, yep, there's post, instructor, helicopter, safety, and flight. Those are all the certifications you'd see in the can. And like I said, how do you earn them? You would have to go through RMA and get your certification there for public servers. Or in private, it would be :GC, me, oh, there's a fire. Not planned. Oh, it's right across the street. So you do : I'm the fire coming. Or, I forgot what the command is. I know what the one to start fire is. But anyway, you use :GC, and then username, and then whatever certification you want to do. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching.